Good morning. Welcome to Terrific Tuesday. Let's start our morning with peak state programming, where each one of us is going to have our manifestation, our affirmations in our power of dreams programming. Let's go for it. Any fluid movement is great. Let's go for it. All we have to do is ask, believe, and it's ours. So every morning when we manifest, when we creatively visualize or see ourselves coming, the truth has come, it's come true. Your dreams have come true. That's when you're energizing your imagination every single morning, and hence the power of dreams. All right. So thank you, everyone, whoever moved and had fluid movement. Absolutely wonderful. Let's have our first tip for the day and let's see. Okay, super cool. So those of us who are looking at sweating our weight off, power fact number 12. When was the last time you worked up a really good sweat during a workout? It could have been in the sweltering summer heat. No one likes to sweat when dressed up or headed to office or for a meeting or dinner. But do make sure you incorporate enough activity in your routine so you work up a sweat, as it has some amazing health benefits. I believe that anything the body does or produces naturally is because of its profound intelligence. Be it sweat, dirt in the corner of the eyes, the smell in your mouth, or sticky goo in the nose. These are natural mechanisms of the body working to expel, clean, eliminate, or heal. And you need to look at them as indicators of your body trying to tell you something. So every morning we're waking up, we've got probably goo here, we've probably got a foul smell, probably your sweat has some smell. These are very important. So those of you who say that, okay, this doesn't happen to me, you're telling your body that, okay, don't detox. So please be careful of what you're telling your body. If you start telling, like, the longest of time I told everyone, because it never happened, that I don't sweat. Guess what? All the particles which need to sweat it out stopped sweating. And what happened? I got toxins in the body, so much more. So please be careful of telling your body or people something about your body. If you're saying again and again that I am constipated, so you shall be. So rather than say this at the moment, I'm going through constipation. I always say that to all my students and course seekers. It's very important to say I'm going through thyroid and I'm going through diabetes, because if you're going through, that means you would have gone through and it'll be over. But if you say I have, it's like you've owned up. It's like, I have an arm and a leg. So please be careful of what you're telling your body, because your body is listening. Of course, you aren't listening to your body. I am not listening to my body because, of the conditioning, we've stopped hearing. So let's develop our sensory organs. Let's start saying the right things. Let's allow our body to mechanically dispel all toxins however it wants, whether it's through the eyes or the nose or the mouth or your sexual organs or excretory organs, However, wherever any pores which are opening up for sweat, let it happen. So please be careful. Skin is the largest eliminatory organ in the human body. It consists of trillions of pores that help the body eliminate toxic waste that causes deadly disease, hair fall, organ failure, and low immunity, and can considerably slow down weight loss. Did you know that sweat can eliminate more lead than your daily urine output? Even a little sweat is enough for your body to detox. You don't need to overtrain for that benefit. If you use creams and cosmetics, they may block the skin's pores. So those of us who've been using sunblocks and who've been using creams and lotions, which are chemicals, it's like next line is for you. A study shows that a woman's body has 2 to 3 kilos of cosmetic chemicals in a year. So again, I say, I know it's too much to ask, but try and keep your body clean of all kinds of extra cosmetics. Start trying and start using probably oils, which are wonderful for your body. I'm not an expert when it comes to cosmetics and creams, but I know enough to say that pure coconut oil is one of the best skin applicants for almost all skin issues or beauty purposes, as it gets directly absorbed and retained below skin level without blocking the pores, hence keeping the eliminatory system working. However, remember that sweating will result in your body losing valuable fluids and electrolytes. So be sure to stay well hydrated every time you build up a sweat and replace the electrolytes naturally by drinking coconut water or a quarter teaspoon of salt mixed with 3 liters of filtered water. So just let the page be. So in a bottle of water, a little pinch of salt is a good idea, or in a bottle of water, putting some vegetables or fruits is a good idea. Putting lemon is a good idea because our water is so acidic, it's going to make our body fat because we are using ROs in our houses. So, firstly, do not have water, if possible, directly from your aquaguards. Put something in them, whether it's a pinch of pink salt, which is organic salt, or you're putting anything, any fusion, anything. That's very, very important. Secondly, please be hydrated whenever you feel, sometimes you feel hungry, you think it's hunger, but try and have with water. The water will quench your thirst. It is mostly thirst and not, and not hunger. Secondly, coconut oil is amazing. You have cold pressed coconut oils, organic coconut oils, normal coconut oils, whatever you want. Try and put on your skin, men and women, and see that you will not need any kind of artificial chemicals and whatever you want. So there'll be no need for all of that. Try and replace and see how your body works, and definitely try and build up a sweat, whether it's 20 minutes of walk or whatever, because if you sweat out every single day for even not for long, it's really, really, really important for our body. So thank you, sir, for showcasing this book. So all of us have to learn that we are talking about a detox of a mind, body, and soul. So a body is very, very important. The first step today was about body. Now, when we talk about our mind, let's understand Magic Book is altering our mind levels by giving us an attitude of gratitude every single day. So I don't know how many of you have done yesterday's exercise about talking to the 3 people who may have made a difference in your life. Whenever I do that, like I did that yesterday as well, it's a big therapy for me. It's amazing to talk it out. Today it's even more beautiful because it's about manifestation. Today, this chapter has a jacket on the left hand side and it's got a magical paper in it. From that is coming out a lot of tons of abundance of magic. So let's make all our wishes come true. So imagination is a true magic carpet, says Norman Vincent Peale. He was born in 1898 and he crossed over in 1993. He was a writer. So now what does this mean? So all of us are imagining a future, right? And it is truly magical because we are manifesting it every single morning in our Power of Dreams programming as well. So why are we dancing or why are we exercising or why are we doing whatever? Because we're giving energy to our manifestation in the morning in a time when sun is about to rise. So you're giving that vibration, you're making that your body vibrate at a higher energy. But if I'm sitting down and not moving, the static energy, which will not enhance my manifestation. Similarly, today what we are doing is we are going to try this new beautiful exercise about a manifestation. So what do we have to do? This is something which has been done like thousands and thousands and thousands of years before also, now also. advanced gratitude. So if you read the chapter, you hear it today, you will get to know the science deeper. But advanced gratitude makes a lot of difference. So, sir, you can turn the page, please. So one line which comes in the magic book every other day is, whoever has gratitude now will be given more in the future, and he or she will have an abundance. So I have shared this fact with all of you that if we are grateful for the house that we have right now, whether we like it or not, we will have a better house tomorrow. If we're grateful for the car that we have right now, we'll have a better car tomorrow. But if we start saying, oh, my car is not so good, my house is not so good, or my body is not so good, then it will keep going worse and worse and worse, because you're not realizing that it is a fact that you need to give it gratitude. There are so many people who don't have a body, not a complete body. They have amputations. So many people don't have a house. So many people don't have, so many things that you have. So please always see that you've really been blessed. So if you really want to make it better, first gratitude for what you have right now. And of course, for the future also we are doing. So what are we doing for this? So we're going to sit down today, I hope you all have had journals. Kunal, I think registered late, and a couple of people probably, they haven't had the journals. Rest, I think everyone would have had by now. Those who have not had, please ask Rahul sir. He's posted an image yesterday. There are many more couriers, so just ask him. He's been tracking it for all of you, or you also have the tracking number. You can track it yourself also, whatever works. So what do we write today? So every other day you're writing your desires. Firstly, you see Magic Book made you write. Then Steve Scott made you write. Today again, Magic Book is making you write. What is happening? So you are going to write your manifestation as if you've already received it. Let's turn the page, sir. So the examples are on the left-hand side. I'll just read one to make it very clear. That too, you're supposed to do on like, thank you, thank you, thank you for something. And whatever your desire is, as if you've received it. For example, you say, you want a Ferrari car. I'm being very materialistic. So thank you, thank you, thank you for a beaming red Ferrari, per se. Or thank you for my excellent turnover this year in business. Or thank you for giving me such a beautiful family where everyone loves each other unconditionally. Whatever your dreams are, just write that down today as an intention. Now, there are 3 points to be involved in your magical wish list, which we'll read on page number 127. Just because your gratitude's magical power should go deeper, deeper, deeper within it, what do? You write as if your emotions, how do you feel when you receive the desire? So how do you feel when you receive, for example, if it's a red Ferrari, how do you feel that oh my God, my dream has come true types, if that is your dream, I mean, just a ballpark idea. Or which person are you telling the first thing that, okay, this has happened, and how do you tell them? How animatedly are you talking? Like, oh my God, like, are you crying? Are you feeling the excitement? And what did you tell them? How did you say it? So these emotions supposed to come in today when you're supposed to think about all of this. So let's turn the page. And the third step of creation is, what is the first great thing you did when you received your desire? And be as detailed as you can, because the more you imagine, the more you react, or the more you take into consideration emotions, the more truth they will all come as. So of course, the assignment is on your right, and we do ask you to do the assignment every single day. Integrity is yours, commitment is yours. How much you're hearing, how much you're doing, it's completely depending upon you. Remember, you are the magician here. I'm just triggering you off into the world of magic through this magic book. So thank you so much. And I hope you're writing in gratitude in the morning. Very important to do that. I hope you're ending your day with your magic rock. Very important to do that also. Because if you're waking up in gratitude and sleeping in gratitude, you're accelerating your world of gratitude. So very, very important for us to remember these points. And today's magic exercise is very, very, very beautiful, very deep. And trust me, I've got this chit in my wallet. It's there forever. Whenever I glance through it, I keep reading it. And many times I'm taking off, oh, this is done. Oh, this is done. Oh, this is done. And now when Steve Scott comes to us through his beautiful book. So Stephen Scott, when he wrote this book, he had the idea of telling each one of us how we can make our dream conversions. All of us are dreamers, how we convert it. Today is chapter number 11, and we've already cut off 6 chains from our life, which were not letting us make our dreams come true. So those of you who haven't read it or joined late, Please make it a point to hear you. So Rahul sir has already given you all the links for the past sessions. Whether you're driving or whether you're running or whether you're doing something, listen to those old, old chapters, which have a playlist because you understand the science behind it. Yes, Alona, everyday one-to-one pages are coming these days. Yesterday they came, day before they came, today they came. So thank you for reminding me. I didn't even see it. So that means that all of us are on the right path. And that means today is a day which is speaking to all of us that we can really make our life wonderful. So chapter number 11 is about the second engine that we must activate for our dreams to come true. It's called the Babe Ruth power, a tremendous strength anyone can gain. So hits are great, home runs are greater. Babe Ruth began his professional baseball career as a pitcher and overnight became the best left-handed pitcher in the American League, winning 89 games in his first 6 seasons. He set a pitching record of 29 two-thirds scoreless innings in the 1918 World Series, and that remarkable record remained unbroken for 43 years. Babe also had more strikeouts in his career than any other baseball player in history. And yet, when you hear the name Babe Ruth, you don't think of his awesome pitching feats or his embarrassing number of strikeouts. No, the Babe is synonymous with one thing and one thing alone: home runs. He's not only hit more home runs in the number of games and innings played than anyone else in the history, but his slugging percentage, 0.847, the number of bases reached divided by the number of at bats, is a record that never has ever been approached, much less equaled. The great Bambino has learned how to add power to his swing and distance to his hit strikes. No one before him and no one since. So a lot of us will not know about Babe Ruth because it's more Americanized. But for those who are in baseball, will definitely know him as a legendary player. So most people go through life just hoping to get on base, whether it's in the marriage, relationships, children, or business or career pursuits. They just want to avoid the strikeouts and get on base. They think just like my first little league coach, he was so afraid whenever I came up to a plate that I would swing at bad pitches and strike out. He would yell, "Steve, a walk's as good as a hit." Hogwash. Anyone who's ever hit a baseball and made it to first base knows that a walk is never as good as a hit. And as good as a hit feels, a home run feels 1,000 times better. So for those of us who are not into baseball, you can compare it to batting. How you feel the pleasure when your bat hits a ball and when you're going to have a sixer or a four or whatever. So imagine that if you're not very familiar with baseball. The idea is to get the goal, right? So that's what we're equating at. Stephen Scott says the greatest hitters of all time played pro ball when Ruth was playing, but none of them were credited with saving Major League Baseball or building a team into the most financially successful baseball team in history. In 1920, Ruth hit more home runs than an entire team in the major leagues except one. That year, more than 1 million fans turned out to watch the great Bambino knock the ball out of the park at the Yankees' home games. That was more fans than they have ever watched any team in a single season. And the irony is, the Yankees didn't even have their own ballpark. They played in the Polo Grounds, home of the New York Giants. The Yankees owner made so much money, he built the finest ballpark in America. And in 1923, the Yankees played their first game in Yankee Stadium, the stadium that became known as a house that Ruth built. And that was no exaggeration. Oh, the thrill of hitting home runs. तो हम सबको एक वी जस्ट बीइंग टोल्ड कि हम ना बहुत कंफर्टेबल दुनिया में रहना चाहते हैं, गोल्स हैं, ड्रीम्स हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए वर्क नहीं करना चाहते, राइट? सो व्हाई आर वी लाइक दिस? व्हाई डू वी सेटल फॉर वॉक्स और सिंगल्स? क्यों हम फाइनल नहीं अचीव करना चाहते? Because everyone loves home runs. Why do people still settle for walks or singles in nearly every area of their lives? Believe it or not, there are only 4 reasons. 4 reasons हैं जो आप और मैं जहाँ हैं वहाँ खुश हैं. So they're equating it to the game right now. We don't realize we're capable of hitting home runs. हम realize ही नहीं करते कि हम अपने dreams को पूरा कर सकते हैं. We don't know how to hit home runs. We don't. तो उसके लिए हमें पता ही नहीं कि हमें अपने सपने पूरे करने भी तो कैसे हैं. You know, they are dreams. It's less risky to take an easier swing and settle for a hit. It's easier. जहाँ हम हैं वहाँ comfortable हैं. कुछ करने के लिए effort करना पड़ेगा. कौन करे? जैसा है बढ़िया चल रहा है. We don't have enough power in our swing to get the ball over the fence. हमें लगता है हमें वो है ही नहीं power जिससे हम अपने dreams को पूरा कर लें. इतना तो है ही नहीं. You know. इसलिए हम जहाँ हैं वहाँ हम बैठे रहते हैं. So Stephen Scott says, I dealt with the first three in earlier chapters when I focused on cutting the chains of past programming, fear of failure, lack of know-how, and lack of resources. In this chapter, I'm going to focus on reason number 4 and show you how to bring so much power into your swing that the ball nearly always sails over the fence. Solving this problem within itself provides the key to totally solving the other 3 problems. I am going to show you how to add so much more power to your swing that you'll immediately realize that. So now the next page is a very beautiful power fact. Let's understand it. Firstly, all of us are capable of hitting home runs. So yes, all of us can make our dreams come true, come what may. You'll know how to hit a home run. We will realize कि कैसे अपने dreams को पूरा करना है. And you will still want to take the risk of swinging for the bleachers. और हमें उसके बाद भी और dreams पूरे करने के लिए we'll have a lot of power. So what do we do for this? Simply hoping for walks or hits will become a thing of the past. So what does all of this mean to you? Leaving the baseball analogy, it means that instead of settling for a good marriage, you are going to strive and achieve a great one, in which all the deepest needs and desires of you and your spouse are consistently fulfilled. ये हमने कल भी बात करी थी कि अपने counterparts को, अपने partners की deepest desires को खोजना, समझना, and being the best spouse is something which is possible and we will work on it. आज और भी बात हो रही है. It means instead of accepting a job where you live paycheck to paycheck, where you simply show up and do time, you are going to swing for a career in which you far surpass your employer's highest expectations. So those of us who are in jobs, we'll start enjoying our job so much more. Those of us who are in business, we'll start enjoying our businesses so much more. And it's not कि जाना है और आना है और paycheck मिल रहा है बस. You are going to become a shooting star instead of a falling star. That's it. Beautiful statement. So I hope that all of us are going to be shooting stars very, very soon. The number and level of significant accomplishments at home and at work are going to skyrocket. And once we have come in this world, everything is going to be absolutely amazing. Ab kaise karna hai? Let's understand that. Converting your hits into home runs. As you discovered in the last chapter, the dream conversion process is a very simple method to produce life-changing results in every area in which it is utilized. It's value-based, goal-setting program. You can take any dream, no matter how abstract or how lofty it might be, and let's convert it into tangible reality. The technique, Stephen Scott calls it shooting for the moon. Takes the dream conversion process and powers it into a league as far above other goal-setting programs as the stars are above the earth. So what is the strategy behind it? So of course, I'm going to just leave a couple of things. We have listened to many countless motivational speakers. We've looked at goal-setting programs. We've looked at everything. But if you're not doing it, then it's not going to be effective at all. So what are we doing here? We are understanding today that how do we become the 3% people who are so much more happier, satisfied, and everything in their life is absolutely wonderful. Now for this, the main important part is coming on page number 1, 2, 3, which is the critical wound in most goal-setting program. सबसे बड़ी problem क्या होती है and how to overcome that. As good as other goal-setting programs are, they all have one severe limitation. And with this limitation, while these goals programs can double or triple a person's income and accomplishments, they rarely multiply a person's income or accomplishments by 100 or 1,000-fold. The limitation I am referring to is in every goals program I've looked at, and is usually stated like, make sure the goals you set are realistic and achievable. तो ये लाइन जो हम पढ़ते हैं सुनते हैं ना, इससे we're clipping our wings. That's why you may have heard, I keep saying, think big, dream big, achieve big. Because only if you make mountains in the sky, if you make castles in the sky, can you make them on Mother Earth, is a saying. So please dream big, think big. Don't think itna tangible hona chahiye, itna realistic hona chahiye, itna achievable hona chahiye. Because when we are doing this, we are really kahin na kahin subconsciously ek limit kar li humne apne aap ko. So if you want to be boundless, limitless, you have to think very big. So this line is like a warning ahead of time that if your goals are unrealistic, you won't achieve them. And you will become frustrated, discouraged, possibly to the point that you will abandon the goal program altogether. Now, does this all make sense to you? I'm not sure. It did to me when I read it for the first time. And that's when I started believing in my goals, and I made them much, much bigger. It's logical for most of us. I'm not sure if you agree. So you can let me know in the chat box that if you agree that, this is a deterrent for all of you, that you want your dreams to be very realistic. Stephen Scott says, I'm sure that many people have become frustrated and discouraged and have even abandoned their goal setting program because they set unrealistic, unachievable goals. So I can understand the concern of most of motivators and trainers. However, if you follow this rule in any goal setting program, including a dream conversion process, you may significantly improve your batting average, but you won't become a home run hitter. You may do a pretty doable stuff. You may hit a few doubles or triples, but that's about it. But on the other hand, if you want to start hitting home runs and hit them consistently in every single area of your life, you have to abandon this rule once and for all and never ever think of it, return back to it, because it is not going to work. Setting realistic, easily achievable goals is the only weak link, the only severe limitation in any goals program. It's okay if your desire is only to reach above average achievement, but it will keep you from making extraordinary achievements a regular occurrence in your life. So very, very important for everyone to today realize, आज आपको magic book में बोला जा रहा है to have dreams, and आज आपको यहाँ पर भी बोला जा रहा है that have dreams, but tangible, realistic करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Unachievable goals are good. So if many of you may have read my, my statement, I began coaching for 5th September is when I started, along with my businesses, not for business, but for Seva. I have made an intention that I'll touch trillions of lives. आज नहीं, कल नहीं, परसों हो जाएगा. So what? Intention तो है, संकल्प तो है. Goals have to be huge. Because if they're huge, that's when you will make it come true. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Guru. It's all about big, big, big goals. And look at what happened. Today, Ambanis are ruling the financial world everywhere, not even in India, everywhere overseas. So please think big, dream big, and achieve big. That's what it is. Because if you ask, if you believe, it's yours. But if you're not going to ask, if you not believe, you will not be able to get them. Imagine if Thomas Edison had only set realistic, achievable goal. We would only be reading under bigger and better kerosene lamps. We would be cleaning our floors with brooms instead of electric-powered vacuum cleaners. We would all live in homes without air conditioning. There would be no recording industry and we would never see a movie. Our entire way of life would be radically different. Or how about our friend Henry Ford? Where would we be if he had not set an impossible goal of building 1,000 cars a day? Only the rich would be driving cars. Everyone else would be riding in buggies. I could fill volumes showing how our lives would be radically different if the dream achievers of the past had only set realistic, achievable goals. Thank God they never heard of this modern rule of goal setting. Setting realistic, achievable goals is like reaching for apples on top of a 2-foot wall. They're easy to reach and there's virtually no risk of a falling or failing when you reach for them. But if you set 10 apples on a 2-foot wall, you will be able to successfully reach out 10 out of 10 every time. That's great. It's certainly better than not getting any apples at all, right? But apples on top of a 2-foot wall are also easily accessible to dogs, worms, rats. While apples that have been gnawed at the dogs or infected by worms may be better than no apples at all. It really isn't tasty or satisfying when you eat them. So realistic, achievable goals are just as good as those apples. They'll keep you away from starving, yes. They'll provide you a reasonable amount of energy, yes. But that's about it. On the other hand, apples hanging on the tree 20 feet off the ground are not accessible to dogs, worms, rats, or even to teenagers or rugrats. They're unspoiled, untouched, tasty, luscious, juicy. They're wonderfully satisfying when eaten. Wait a minute. Did you say I can't reach a branch 20 feet off the ground? You're right. In fact, Michael Jordan can't even reach that branch no matter how high he tries to jump. So dreams and goals that are 20 feet high are both unrealistic, unachievable at first glance. That's the bad news. The good news is that even my 4-year-old can reach that 20-foot branch. All he needs is a step ladder. That's what all of the strategies and techniques that can make up the dream conversion gives you. A ladder you can use to climb whatever wall is keeping you from reaching your most unrealistic, unachievable, impossible goals. So when you become skilled at using these strategies and techniques, achieving impossible goals will become a part of your daily experience. But to reach such goals and dreams, you must first break the habit of setting goals on the 2-foot wall and start looking at the top of the 20-foot mountains, 20-foot walls. What's the challenge of shooting for the moon is all about? That's the challenge. So what do we do? In this journey, we will learn about shooting for the moons straight away, not even anything, straight away moon, not even the stars. So yes, Kunal, ask, believe, and it will be yours is absolutely beautiful because it is truly like that. And in this world in the 1 to 1 day journey that we are traversing on, you have the moon actually coming to you every single month for you to surrender and you to manifest. So even the moon's power is coming to you. Such beautiful sciences are coming to you. Now, how much you are taking depends upon you. Are you just a dreamer? Or are you going to become a dream converter by becoming an achiever? Depends upon how much work you're putting in every day in the assignments given. Believe you me, if you do the assignments given to you every single day, you will become an achiever. And I don't know how many testimonies saying that. In a very short span, lots of testimonies have been said about this. So let's now look at the science of shooting for the moon, the technique that supercharges the dream conversion process. And believe me, this entire book is beautiful, but this chapter number 11, is absolutely magical. So please antennas up and let's just go for it. In chapter 2, I said there are 3 types of people: dreamers, dream breakers, and dream makers. I defined a dream maker as someone who dreams big and achieves those big dreams. I said they represent at best about 1/10 of 1% of America's adult population. I personally know a number of Americans' most renowned dream makers and read about many others. To date, everyone I've come to know and everyone I've read about shoots for the moons when they set their goals. In a sentence, shooting for the moon means setting goals they are beyond your reach, even impossible for you to achieve and on your own, right? Now, years ago, when I was setting my goal on a project, a close friend told me, always shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll still be high. I began using this philosophy when I set my goals, and it radically changed everything. I began attempting what I believed was impossible. And to my amazement, I began achieving it. Said another way, shooting for the moon is starting with goals that are 20 feet high and only lowering your sights when you fail to achieve the highest goal. So you start at the top and work downwards rather than starting at the bottom and working upwards. For example, when I begin a new project and have to determine which celebrity I want to sign as an endorser, I have a choice. I could create a list of celebrities who I think are within my budget, who are willing to appear in commercials. I could start by calling the ones I think I have the best chance of signing. This would only be the easiest path to follow. However, it would be safest and the least time consuming, right? Because I would probably be able to sign the first person such a list. This would follow the conventional approach in a goals program of setting reachable, tangible, achievable goals. Or I could shoot for the moon. I could ask myself, who would be the best, absolute best celebrity in the world to endorse this particular product? Now, if I could have anyone in front of the camera when it's rolling, whom would I pick? And if I can't sign that person, who would be the next best, and so on? This is the shooting for the moon approach that I and every other dream maker or dream achiever I have ever known has used. As a result, I have been able to sign such great endorsers as Michael Landon, Cher, Jane Fonda, Charlton Heston, Tom Shellock, Chuck Norris, Kathy Lee Gifford, Ted Danison, Harry Hagman, Holly Hunter, and 70 other A-list celebrities during the height of their careers to appear in my company's projects and endorse our products. Any of the celebrities I signed were never willing to appear in a commercial until I approached them. For example, when I needed an endorser for a public educational product, I felt Michael Landon and John Ritter would be the absolute best endorsers. Both were starring in primetime shows and each was totally consumed to education. So now in next pretty much a lot of paragraphs, in fact 2 pages, he's been talking about his experience with other people and how he involved them. Now he's even speaking about many, many government officials, again, who reached for the shooting for stars and how they ultimately got what they did. But let's understand one more thing, that all of these people found prosperity, security, they all found their dreams came true because they had dreams of unattainable goals, yet they came to reality because of their vision, because of their mission, and because of their nature of being at it. So if you and me are not going to shoot for the moon, we will not be able to get the moon. So very important today to think big, dream big, right? So you can turn the page because these examples are not very, you know, cohesive in our studying. Now, one line, let's read it, page number 128. Steven Spielberg has set impossible goals in nearly every project he has ever attempted since he began his film career. Goals that were impossible for him to achieve by himself became achievable through his brilliant direction and his ability to recruit the outside resources he needed to convert his dreams into reality. So, why I read this is because Steven Spielberg and his examples are pretty much known to everyone. Even if not known, he's a everyday home name. So, if people can actually have impossible goals, why can't we? So, it's very important for us to understand that this is where we are. Today, what will we do? We'll revise our dreams and we'll add shooting for the moon bit in them. So maybe our dreams were small. Today, they're going to become bigger. So on page number 129, in the box there, you see revising dreams and shooting for the moon. First, shooting for the moon revised dream. Marriage, where husband meets wife's deepest emotional needs. They say men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? I can tell you that it's absolute hogwash, it's bullshit. If a husband wants, he can definitely understand the woman he is married to or is partnering with. It's all about being there. My husband has done that, found very easily what are my emotional needs because he was aligned because this was his project in a way, right? Number B, impossible dream. Replace criticism with appreciation, praise, encouragement. Now, that is something all of us are being guided every single day in Magic Book, even in Impossible Dreams, this particular book. We were told very categorically no criticism, no complaint. खाने में नमक कम है, put more salt. Business में आपको वो deal नहीं मिली जो आप चाहते थे, doesn't matter. Be thankful for what you have. Wherever, whatever is coming your way, traffic mil raha hai, it's okay. Say thank you to the traffic red signal and traffic will start moving. So please have appreciation, please praise, please encourage anyone and everyone in your life, circumstances, events. Now that is the one thing which will lead you closer to your impossible dream journey. C, dream. N, constant criticism. We've spoken about this, but again, we'll say there are so many of us who are used to criticizing every single thing. आज ये पूरा नहीं हुआ, वो ऐसा नहीं हुआ. something or the other. So that has to go. And automatically, I promise you, there will come a time when all of us will be just talking gratitude language. We'll be thankful for every single thing in our life. Why? Because all of us will belong to the world of appreciation and no criticism. So everything, if it was negative, it's fine. Like in my house, I can tell you, my father-in-law and my younger brother-in-law, आज तक कभी I've never heard them complain about anything at all. At all means at all. If the food is bad, like shitty to taste also, they will never say it's bad. They will still eat it because they don't believe in criticizing. And just see where, I mean, Papa's no more here. Today is in fact 11 days of his crossing over, 11 years. So, but just telling you with my examples that, I've seen people rise and shine when they are in a world of appreciation. I still remember him after 11 years with misty eyes because that was the kind of a man he truly was. So please dream to make yourself like that, where you would have no criticism at all. Number D, achievable goal. Reduce the frequency and severity of husband's criticism. So now this is something which is spoken for a woman, but I will say that for everyone, for even us Indians, our parents are very strongly intertwined in our life. So maybe reduce the frequency and severity of your parents' criticism or anybody else's. किसी ने कुछ बोला, इट्स ओके सर माथे पे. लुक एट द फ्लिप साइड कि उससे हम क्या सीख सकते हैं. वो हमें ऑलरेडी चेन में सिखाया गया था इस बुक में. किसी ने कमेंट कर क्रिटिसाइज किया, look at the better aspect. Okay, what can I learn? What can I get out of it? And let's just say, okay, I'll consider it. Thank you so much. Because I'll tell you something. Only the ones who love us or care for us will criticize. Not a stranger. He'll never come and tell you you're going wrong. Current reality, husband's constant criticism. So again, I will say this is not husband or wife. It's constant criticism in life. बच्चे complain कर रहे हैं, families कर रहे हैं, staff कर रहा है, because that's what we've all been growing with. So that's something all of us should work on. And you will have what it really required to hit the moon. This chapter is long, and I'm grateful that this chapter is long, because tomorrow we'll start talking about page number 129. But let's understand today in our dream journey, magic book में हम लिखने वाले हैं 10 dreams. उनको please keep them shooting for the moon revised dreams. Make them really large, really, really large, so that they are not tangible, but you'll have a sense of accomplishment after a few years when you look at your dream journal. Oh, ये तो पूरा हो गया. The feeling will be very beautiful. So thank you, Rahul sir. We'll start tomorrow on page number 129, where all of us will study about our attitude, why we think we don't have this attitude. Because a lot of us feel कि अरे मेरे अंदर तो है ही नहीं. कल हम उस shackles को break करेंगे, because we all have to dream big, think big, and that's when life becomes beautiful. And now, of course, time for sun salutations. Let's have a Surya Namaskar. Let's have blessings from the sun in our dream journey.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Padahastasana, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasana, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left forward Ashvasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuttanasana, Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs, cobra, press back to mountain, right forward equestrian pose, hand to feet pose, raised arms position, prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing.
Thank you, Ruchi. So we spoke about money yesterday. We spoke about how all of us are in this new world and can be the biggest $1 million question. Can I run up a massive debt? Hypothetically, it would be possible to run up a massive debt. Call it negative balance in your account. Practically, it would never, ever happen, rarely happen. This is because in the new world, everyone's thinking has changed. The fourth dimension is a dimension of the global mind. People stop thinking of their own good, greed, and start thinking of the common good. ये दुनिया आने वाली है जब आप अपने beyond सोचेंगे, दूसरों के लिए सोचेंगे. And that's already happening because I can find a shift. Even in the Indian government, we have now CSR. Of course, CSR को बहुत घुमा फिरा के भी किया जा रहा है. But in our, like, we belong to roundtable community. So in our roundtable and ladies circle, we are tapping the CSR of companies and building schools with them. We've done that with Procter & Gamble and so many more. So this is happening अपने beyond लोग सोचना शुरू करते हैं, and that's what our organization is all about. So in the fourth dimension, people will not allow this balance to get negative or remain negative for long. Automatically, अगर हमारा negative balance आएगा, somebody or other will contribute in society by earning some money and raising his account balance to positive. So this is going to be beautiful in the new world where everyone's thinking will change for a good thinking, good living of the mass. This change in thinking is a prerequisite for the system to work. In today's world of the third dimension, such a system of universal unlimited credit will not work. but in the fourth or higher dimension, it works well. So this life is already coming in, whether we realize or whether we don't, it's coming in. Now, good for self or good for society? Now that's the question. Jahan हम रह रहे हैं, which is third dimension. Actually, if I tell you, we have crossed the fourth dimension also. Now we are moving towards a much higher dimension. In the third dimension, almost everything is done with the intent and purpose of making money for the self. अभी हम पैसा अपने लिए कमा रहे हैं, बहुत rarely हम बोलेंगे कि हम समाज के लिए कमा रहे हैं. It's for me and I, me and am. We want to make investments that will give us the most returns. If you're making a lot of money, someone else must be losing a lot of money. Otherwise, where is that money coming from? If a company is making a huge profit, it means they are selling their products at a much higher price than their cost. That means every customer is losing out since he's paying much more than he needs to pay for that product. And where is that profit going? To the shareholders who are generally doing absolutely nothing for the company. In the new world or the fourth dimension, everything will be done with the intention of doing something for the common good. I don't know how many of you will agree. At the moment, if you look at the brands, the bigger brands, let's compare something like bags only. So now the Louis Vuittons or Hermes or whatever you talk about, they have been priced at a very, very niche price. So you're paying a huge amount for absolutely nothing what you're getting. Who's benefiting? Only those few people who are owning the company. What is the common good in this for all, except for creating that disparity and that, a sense of I'm not good enough. So that will also change in the new world. And if you realize that in the pandemic, a lot of people realize the value of shoshebazi. There are so many women and men who've stopped using the so and so. It's okay, everything's great. There has been a little reality check. There has been a correction in our thinking. Now, what is a chair maker and the stockbroker? The chair maker makes chairs that benefits people in general because he's creating things that make our lives better. As long as he's selling his chairs at a reasonable profit margin, not an exorbitant one, he will thrive in the new world since his business is good for society. So what's happening? वो masses को attract कर रहा है, classes को नहीं attract कर रहा. जो massy business कर रहा है with less profit, but helping a lot of people, उसका business thrive करने वाला है in the future. A stockbroker, on the other hand, is only providing a service that is good for self. So let us say I have 100 shares of company X that sell for $50 per share. The total value is $5,000. Let us assume you have 5,500 in your bank account. Presume the stockbroker arranges for you to buy my 100 shares of company X. Now you pay the stockbroker $5,500. The stockbroker pays me $5,000. And $500 is his fee for transaction. Now I transfer my 100 shares of company X to your name. End of transaction, over, finished. All I have done is given you a piece of paper which says 100 shares of company X are given to you. Instead of my name being on the piece of paper, now your name is on it. Similarly, instead of you holding the 5,000 cash, I'm holding it. And the stockbroker got another 500 from you. Company X did not benefit from this transaction in any way. To the society in general, this transaction has zero benefit. The only one benefiting from this transaction is the stockbroker. No benefit whatsoever for society or for company X. This is an example of a business which is only good for self. In the new world, there will be no stockbrokers and no stock markets. Stock markets and casinos both offer pure gambling. Imagine a global company well established, for instance, IBM. For the sake of an example, let us say the share price today is $100 per share. Tomorrow, whether the price moves to 110 or 89 per share makes no difference to the company actually. The company still has the same number of employees, same properties, same products, same customer base, same factories, etc., etc. Everyone stays the same. Yet the share price moves. The share price fluctuation is pure speculation. So in this new world, this will also be finished. People won't even know about this. And we will see it. So all of us who are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, we will see it. Insurance, another good for self-business. Take life insurance, for example, even 60s, 70s, because in my world, there's longevity happening. So everyone will live a long life, right? So I stand corrected. So insurance, another good for self-business. Take self-insurance, for example. Now what's happening is increasing the polarity in our world. Life insurance helps the rich get richer and the poor become poorer. A rich man can afford to buy a 5 million policy, $5 million policy. He passes away and his heirs become 5 million richer. A poor man can't afford any life insurance. He passes away and his heirs even become poorer because they've lost their breadwinner of the family. So life insurance creates a great divide in our society. Take health insurance, for example. It says only the rich people need to be treated. Isn't that funny? The poor man can't even afford insurance, and he is often denied treatment at hospitals and by doctors and medical professionals. Health insurance says only the rich need treatment and the poor people's lives are not important. So, why should a society not care for everyone's health? We can go on and on with examples. The story is the same. All the benefits accrue to the rich and the ones who don't need it because they can afford to pay for it. In the new world, there will be no such thing as insurance of any kind. All persons will be afforded equal protection in all areas. Human dignity will be back. So let's look forward to the new world without money and with good for society businesses. So for those of you who are visionary, futuristic, think of such kind of businesses that you can bring in, which are going to be helping societies because that will flourish in the new world. So time for a correction. If your dreams are coming true and you, आपको this is more like astrology, आपको future के बारे में अभी बताया जा रहा है. And I can tell you this book is very beautiful. It's channeled book and it's amazing. So, sir, I do wish to read the Work and Leisure also. I do wish to introduce them to the chapter. We do have time. So if possible, bring the book back. Chapter number 7 is about work and leisure. Very important for us to understand that work and leisure are important. Now, what differentiates work from leisure? So in this new world, let me tell you that work and leisure will also be together. काम में भी मजा आने वाला है, मजा में भी काम आने वाला है. It will be both the ways. So generally, the third current dimension where we're living, we could differentiate the two as follows. Work, something that we need to do for a living. We normally do not enjoy it, but we do it anyways because we think we need the money. Mostly we have very limited choice on where we work, what hours we work, and what types of activities, projects we work on. Usually a majority of our time is spent at work. We have a boss or somebody else telling us what to do, supervising our work, evaluating our performance, using standards of performance that someone else developed without any consideration of our interest, abilities, or desires. So you can also consider your fathers if they are having businesses or your elders in the family. Unke standards se aap kaam kar rahe hain, so you are being gauged. So there is no fun in work because there are some standards which you can't reach. Next page is about leisure. Today, in today's world, what is leisure? Something that we do for fun. We normally enjoy it because we do it by choice. We decide where and when we want to go, what kind of activities, projects we want to get involved in. Usually a small part of our time is spent on leisure. We do not have someone else telling us what to do or supervising and evaluating our performance. We generally do not make money in our leisure time. Leisure is fun. Isn't there something wrong with the picture? We spend the majority of our time doing something that is not fun. We're working. And only a very small part of our time on fun, which we love. So why is there so little fun in life? It is how much fun we are having that basically determines our quality of life. So what's going to happen? Dissolving work in pleasure. If we could merge work and leisure and make the merged activity have all the characteristics of leisure, then we will always be having fun in life. Then the quality of life will be excellent. And that is exactly what we want. We want a life full of fun. So now the question is, which I talked about longevity. So would you retire from fun? अभी लोग बोलते हैं 50, 60, 70 में retire कर जाएंगे. उसके बाद, it will be our time. Now that's something to challenge. So we read this book, Ikigai, in the first and second Sangha. And now in that also, it's pretty much about this. If you are having fun in your life, would you retire from it? My life is full of fun, says Sunny Satin, the author. I do everything by choice and purely based on what interests me. It was not this way earlier for 30 years when I worked in the corporate or business world. This means I never go to work. I'm constantly on leisure time. I have no plans of retiring from fun. Would you if your life was all fun? Once we move to the fourth dimension, work disappears and merges into leisure. However, in the third dimension, the vast majority of persons can't do that. The problem is the separation of work and leisure as defined above. So I can tell you with my experience, thanks to my coach RJ, when I was doing business, I was working from the morning 7, I would leave my house and come back to Delhi by 5 o'clock. So I had a 10-hour day in which 4 hours I was traveling, 6 hours I was working, and even less of days I was really working. Now I've come to a point where I'm working 4 hours a week. Believe me, life is fun. I'm doing so much more, and my company is autopilot also. So this is also happening. Why? Because I know that my life is all about fun and things that I love to do. So my intention was there. It was huge when I began the course last year. I did not even know this was possible. But why did I go on autopilot? Because this was my intention ki karna hai to karna hai. So I ran with like a horse. So that's why I say, when I was a wonderful student for my coach, I ran with my blinkers on. He said, run, I would run. So simply, I request all of you, आज barely journey शुरू हुई है third Sangha की. Please follow exactly what is being taught to all of us. Only then can you really have fun and evolve in life. I don't want you to come back to the fourth series if you don't, there are people who have come in the series again and again because they love the books and they think it's value addition. But they've already had a transformation, right? So if you want a true transformation, be with me in this journey. So now, where is the problem? Let's talk about the problem also before we conclude the chapter today. Problem kahan hai? क्यों हमारी life fun नहीं है? The problem is created by the polarity in our world. The top 1% of the world's population controls almost 75 to 80% of all resources. The other 99% are forced to work for the top 1%. And I think everyone agrees with this. The finance is handled by very few families. The money is controlled by very few families in the country and globally. If we were to take all the resources in the world and divide them equally amongst the population of the world, everyone would have more than sufficient for a good life. Right now, one person can keep $50 billion in the banks, while hundreds of millions of the world are undernourished or starving. So if we were able to make latest technologies available to everyone, things would get done much faster and people would not have to work so hard. When something has to be done manually, where it could have been done by machines, human labor is being unnecessarily wasted. I'll give you an example in this also. So now technology aa gayi hai Zoom, right? I have all my calls on Zoom with my sales team, with my production team, with my MDO, with my office. So I am saving my 5 hours of travel time and unnecessarily sitting in the office for 5 or 6 hours, where it can be done in 2 hours. How is it happening? Technologies use aa rahi hain. So we are already in this life. Now, if you want, you can be in this life. If you want, you can have the same old tariqa of going to the factory, coming back, going to your offices, coming back. When you're working for a boss, obviously you can't choose this. But right now, if you realize, people who are on jobs also, many companies have made the culture of working from home. I met somebody who was saying that work from home is going to be the culture, pandemic or no pandemic, reporting only once a week. So yes, it's saving time and energy. Right now, in an advanced nation, 5 people using the right technology make a certain roadway in one day. It's a third world country. It might take hundreds of workers breaking stones by hand to make some roadway in a month. Now, if there were a sharing of equipment, we could save a tremendous amount of time. I may keep 4 cars at home and on certain days not even drive a single one. My neighbor, on the other hand, might not even have a car and might be spending 2 hours a day commuting by bus or train. If I could share a car with him, maybe he would save an hour and a half per day in consuming commuting time alone. That's why if you realize carpools had come in fashion. The Indian government was talking about it. Start pooling in your time and resources. Even your Ubers and Olas also have carpooling. By not sharing equipment, we unreasonably raise our requirements and put an undue burden on our own resources. So many people have two vacuum cleaners at home, and maybe one of them gets used for about 5 minutes per day. If the same vacuum cleaners could be used for 12 hours per day, we could clean about 300 houses with them. So every 300 vacuum cleaners could be replaced by a single one. That is why you have companies that are doing outsourcing of your cleaning. They're coming as professionals, cleaning your stuff and going back. So we are already in this world in a way. Rather than buying the equipment, you're investing in a service once in a while. Now, if you need to buy 300 vacuum cleaners instead of one, of course, you will need to work that much harder. In most cases, we are not just working for ourselves, we are working for an employer. The employer wants us to work many hours so that he can make more money from our work, especially for persons that are on a fixed salary. Every extra hour they work, they're working only for the employer, not for themselves. Once again, we can go on and on and on about why we are in this shape that we are. And that is why you're reading this book. So let us move on to how it will be in the new world. अब नया world कैसे होने वाला है? Let's talk about this tomorrow. It's going to be very beautiful. It's going to be an insight into how the new world is. And we're very, 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 very lucky to find this book here. So some of you messaged me that this book is available for 97,000 on Amazon. Yes, it is because it's channeled book. But good news is that I have spoken to the publishers. They're very much Delhi based. They're in Defense Colony, and they have promised me to keep few books aside, and they give me a link. I'll share the link with all of you. So just go and click on it, and the book should be about $495 or $450, and they'll courier it to your house. So I think inclusive courier it's about $550. अगर आपको ये book चाहिए, so you can use that link and buy it. Otherwise, of course, because I love this book, like really how it gives us a reality check. So thank you, Rahul sir. I really wanted to read this book so much. So today about this, and let's face up our future and let's go for a better future. I think I did share the link. I'm not sure, Kunal, did I? I could have, because I was at a retreat, people wanted to get this book. So I shared, maybe I shared here as well. So it's something with Rithana books. If that is a link already given, more power to us. Now let's have the heart thought, the affirmation, and let's go for it. So our business is a divine idea. What is our business? Whatever we do, everything is our business. All right. So now people just are relating business to just financial transactions. But like mind your own business does not mean you're only minding your own business for professions. So I will repost the link. Yes, Priyanka and Kunal, I will. So of course, somebody can raise their hand to read it. That will be wonderful. Meanwhile, I'll read the preview for all of us. So if you work where there is love and joy and laughter, and you are appreciated, you are going to do such a good job and work twice as hard. You will find that you have more talents and abilities than you ever knew you had. I am so beautifully amazed at the way the heart thought comes every morning. Whatever we read, the same thing gets echoed. It's just unbelievable. So right now we were talking about our dreams, our manifestations, 10 dreams. Then we were corrected by Stephen Scott to make them reach for the moon dreams. Then we were told by Incredibly Believable how it's going to be for everything and everyone, and there should be fun, and there will be fun in the future idea. And here we are. Our business is a divine idea. So yes, Shivani, please read for all of us. Thank you for volunteering.
Our business is a divine idea.
Amit, Shivani, Amit's thing has to go on mute because I can hear the double echo of two systems.
Is that fine now?
Perfect.
Our business is a divine idea in the one mind, created out of divine love and maintained and sustained by love. Every employee has been attracted by the action of love, for it is his and her divine right place here at this point in time and space. Divine harmony permeates us all, and we flow together in a most productive and joyous way. It is the action of love that brought us to this particular place. Divine right action operates every aspect of our business. Divine intelligence intelligence creates our products and services. Divine love brings to us those who can be helped by that which we so lovingly do. We release all old patterns of complaining or condemning, for we know it is our consciousness that creates our circumstances in the business world. We know and declare that it is possible to successfully operate our business according to divine principles, and we lovingly use our mental tools to live and experience our lives ever more abundantly. We refuse to be limited in any way by human mind thinking. The divine mind is our business consultant and has plans for us which we have not yet dreamed. Our lives are filled with love and joy because our business is a divine idea, and so it is.
How wonderful. So today we'll talk about the divine intelligence and this divine actions from all of us in our meditation. So let's just get center balance aligned. Our backs absolutely straight, our postures checked, our hands comfortably placed on our laps. We are grounded. To center and balance, let's take 3 deep breaths. Let's inhale in love. Fill your bodies like a balloon with lots of love in yourselves. Exhale love and share wherever, however far possible. Beyond the people you love, let there be unconditional love. This time with a deep breath in, let's inhale light. This light dispels all the darkness within us. We're able to see our life clearly. And as we gently exhale our breath, we're sharing our light with the world, making the world a brighter, better place to live in. With the third breath of the morning, let's inhale divinity. We are the divine beings, guided, nurtured. And as we exhale, we're sharing our divinity with everyone around us. Remember, each one of us is made in the image of God. Each one of us has been made by Him as a creator, as an artist, as a divine being. Let's rediscover our divinity today in our meditation. Life is beautiful. Life is divine. Life is a complete experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We have reincarnated on Mother Earth as a human being. We are the blessed ones to be connected this morning in a circle of love and light. This beautiful circle of love is also spelled as let our virtues expand. When love means expanding virtues, so why are we not falling in love with our life? Why can't we expand our virtues, our goodness, and discover unconditional love? It's time to be the best partners, the best parents, the best children, the best bosses, or the best colleagues, the best employers, employees, whoever we are. Let our virtues expand. Let our virtues help us elevate. Let our good virtues help us go in a direction where we find unconditional love, a sense of oneness with everyone around us. Because love is the only universal force that brings to us unparalleled happiness. Let us realize what there is light all about. Light spells itself as living in God's heightened terror. When the Almighty, the God, has made each one of us as an artist, as a creator, We are anyways living in this heightened terror when we are flowing in love. So let us realize why each one of us is connected this morning to be in this world of love and light. Once we are in this world of love, automatically everything will be bright and lit up, hence light. So let's embrace our beautiful life, the magically blessed life, for intertwining us this morning in a session of learning, evolving, analyzing, reflecting, and flowing in the two universal elements of the universe, namely love and light. Whenever we flow in this world of love and light, all we have to do is ask, believe, and know it's ours for life. Because after all, the foundation is so strong. Our intentions are beautiful. It's beyond ourselves because we have oneness with everyone we work with or stay with. And everything is bright. We can see life clearly. We can see our own trajectory clearly. And hence we become the rockets who are no longer on the launch pad, but are elevating higher and higher and higher in the universe to create a mark. And each one of us can reach for the moon. No competition. When the moon is huge, beautiful, and effervescent, why can't we find the light? Why can't we feel and touch the light? Let there be more launch pads, more rockets. Let each one of us evolve with our love and light and reach for the moons and the stars. Because truly, each one of us is befitting of this journey, ready for this new, amazing ride, the joyride to the world of happiness. The sense for the day is let our virtues expand. Let us fall in love with life. And so it is. And bow our heads in gratitude towards our Mother Earth. Dear Mother Earth, I'm sorry. I've really abused you with toxicity. I've used plastic. I've used non-organic material. And I've bombarded you and made you an unhealthy place, a planet to live in. You're a live, breathing planet. And yet, I have burdened you with so much of toxic substances. But I do pledge that I would definitely make a cohesive decision to reach you, to nourish you, to nurture you, just the way you do it, dear mother. Thank you for nurturing me with the qualities of love and light. When I have these two, life is beautiful. And I promise that I will make an eternal effort to bring the same to you. Love you like never before. Be the light and spread only goodness. And whatever toxicity is there, discard that and keep you free of it. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all that you do. Let's put our faces on eye level, eyes still closed, and looking at a life that we've lived and the lives that we still don't know, but we've lived. So, dear lives and life, I have been gifted with each experience, knowing that I attracted each one consciously or subconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly. But I required each experience because it was meant to be. I understand I have evolved. I understand I've had bad days, but I do realize that those bad days made me value the good ones. So each experience, thank you so much for being my teacher, for giving me a life lesson, and for giving me experience as never before. To my present, I thank you for allowing me to be in a place to evolve, to nurture myself, and to have my own growth time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my future, when I am flowing in love and light, all I know is that you are magical, blessed, abundant, and one that nurtures love and light. So you are most definitely unparalleled. And I give a lot of power to you and to power my dreams, which I know are coming true. And so it is. Let's spread our hands in abundance pose and look at the universe and thank it. Dear universe, thank you for having our backs. Dear cosmos, thank you for involving us, including us in this beautiful Leela, the Maya. Dear divinities, grateful to each one of you for showering your choicest blessings on us. Dear angels, thank you for showing us we're in the right trajectory. Dear guardians, thank you for ensuring each one of us is safe, sound, protected. We invite the cosmic light to put a shield around us to keep us safe forever in life. We accept the cosmic shield to be safe, free of all negativity. We envelope in this beautiful feeling of love and light. Let's expand our angel heart, put our hands on the left and right of our heart level, facing heavenwards. I am love. I am light. I shine bright, right now, right here. I am abundant. I am blissful. I am open and receptive to all the love and all the abundance in all possible universes. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows, and so it is. Let's fold our hands in gratitude for everything from heavens to earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's rub our hands together with synergy, with the energy flowing, with the heat being felt between our palms. Let's bless our face, eyesight, ear sight, ear, nose, mouth, touch, our neck, a food pipe that takes in spiritual food energy, soul cellular energy, our shoulders, our arms, upper to lower, inner to outer, our back, upper to lower with the spinal cord, our hips, excretory organ, our back of our thighs, back of our knee, back of our calves, soles of our feet. Turn your hands around, touch the top of your feet, your front calves, your knee, your thighs, sexual organs, your gut area, large and small intestines, kidneys, gallbladder, uterus, liver, stomach. Touch your chest, your lungs, your heart. Now let's fold the hands once again. Dearest magical body, I, the soul, have acquired you as a vehicle to further my life's purpose, my soul's journey. I'm grateful to you for functioning at your optimal best. I know because of my lifestyle, I have knowingly, unknowingly abused you, but I promise to become more conscious and embrace good lifestyle changes. And thank you for working on the optimal best despite all abuses and wear and tear. And could I request you to please detox yourself from all negative emotions, if any, all negative dis-ease, if any. If you aren't easy, let me know. Let me be the listener to communicate with you. Allow me the beautiful virtue of listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the energy, the pran, the chi, and the ki that flows in me, I invite you, I invoke you to share my love, light, and abundance-filled blessings with my Sangha, their loved ones, and all beings on Mother Earth. Let there be love, let there be light. So it is. Manish, Supriya, Nikita, Alona, Usha ji, Neha, Ruchi, Akshay, Kuldeep ji, Surender ji, Shami, Ankur, Kunal, Priyanka, Neha, Manisha, Minakshi, Shivani, Amit, Jitendra ji, Shalu, Richa, Ruchi, Bhavika, Niriksha, Kunjanji, Sonakshi, Swati, Kamakshi, Ruchi Madan, Bhargava Kwatra, Richa Sachdev, Meenakshi Arya, Born 121 for Life, Shelly Mathur. Thank you, Rahul sir, for a beautiful morning of sharing your light with all of us. Thank you, Amrita, for sharing the assignments. And anyone has any questions? Kunal, I read about you wanting some kind of help because you joined in late. So if I can help you, please feel free to email me at prachi@112one.com, or you can just pop in a message because I've known you. So I do not allow WhatsApp messages from my co-seekers because I feel they are kind of spamming, but email is a great idea. So for the ones who know me, and I allow you, so please feel free to be in touch. Now for everyone, yes, you can share, Shalu, just to give me a minute. For the ones I was hoping to cross the 3-week mile for us to understand where we are. It's a very initial setting of a foundation. So if I start something called a group right now, which I do intend to, it may be too overwhelming because the minute groups start, our action starts. Action as in sharing our affirmations, sharing our blessings, sharing our takeaways, and doing our assignments, because then that is truly accountability. So deal with me a bit more. I want you all to become comfortable where you are, learn bit by bit, because too much is happening, yet it's in connection with each other. So I know manifestation is around the corner. Many of you already shared, which is beautiful, that your one dream has come true. So for me, that's a colors up. So thank you for sharing that on email. I'm not sure if you want to share it, so I'm not naming you. And Shalu, you want to share something? Please share.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you, ma'am, because you have taken me into this journey. And yesterday, the second dream on my list, it came true. And I cannot
Wonderful.
believe from last 10 years, I've been trying to go to office. And from yesterday, I've started. But I can't believe it is happening too. And I'm like on the top of the world.
So rather, I'll just do a little correction. Thank you for sharing your light, but I want to do a little correction. Just say, I can believe it's happening because now I'm in a magical world. So if you say, I can't believe it, it'll go away, right? Add more power to your dreams, add more power to your substance. Say, oh, it's just beautifully believable. Yeah. Let's change our language of affirmations. And thank you, Shalu, for sharing this. Another person's dream got true, which is very beautiful. So lovely. More power to you. Thank you for sharing your light. All right, so this is what makes them mornings magical. It's a very simple effort with all of us to evolve. It's just about consistency. So if we haven't been consistent in reading the chapters, reflecting, our dreams will come true, but they'll take a little longer. But if all of us are in this together, having each other's back, for sure, a lot of stuff is going to be happening. So I really want to thank everyone for being here and making my morning magical. Lots of love, lots of light. Seeing each other tomorrow morning at 5 with the promise that we will be there. Take care. Thank you so much.